What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another deck profile here on TCG University for the card game UniVersus. My name's Tam, and today I'm going to be showing you James's Akuma 3-dot deck that he played for the Back to Standard Campus Championship. If you like this profile, make sure that you go and you check out all the other matches that he played in, and all the other Akuma profiles that we have on the channel. There's going to be plenty to come. This deck is super rad. One of the coolest Akuma decks that I've seen so far, and James is incredibly excited to lab out this character the best that he can. It's gonna be really fun. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the profile. All right, so Akuma 3-dot. Some say the most slept on character from the most recent Street Fighter DLC that's been released. If you haven't seen one of my deck profiles before, basically what I'm going to be doing is, as opposed to just reading off the cards verbatim, I'm going to be telling you more about how the deck wants to work, how it wants to operate, and giving you some tips that way, as opposed to just reading the cards. That's boring. So what does this Akuma deck want to do? This Akuma deck is actually stacking all of the Akumas, and I'll go and just toss out the homies here. It's stacking all of the Akumas, and so this deck is just utilizing the best tools from all three Akuma kits that we possibly can. And so its entire sole purpose is my opponent just isn't going to pass any of their cards. Once I get rolling, you're just going to be constantly behind by not having any useful cards in your staging area because of flipping, as well as you're just not going to be able to play any cards because I'm just making you discard them all. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and jump into the profile. We're playing double Akuma 2-dot. Akuma 2-dot is the main character that we want to stack onto Akuma 1-dot. I feel that Akuma 3-dot, Akuma 3-dot is the workhorse because he's a 7-hand size character, but Akuma 2-dot is the way that you kill people, right? So this is what, making Akuma 2-dot a 7-hand size character is fantastic. It's super good. And so with that said, we want to get the most mileage out of Akuma's 2-dot's potency to kill, but Akuma 3-dot's consistency, that it fixes Akuma 2-dot's big issue. And we're also playing double Akuma 1-dot just so that we can get the most out of making our opponent fail their check. If we toss all three of them together, it's like -5 to your check, which is crazy strong. All for flipping cards, discarding cards, and then destroying cards. So I'm utilizing my resources in order to make sure that you don't get to play with the ones that you need. On to the attacks. We're going to go and talk about the gauge stuff first. We're playing triple Netherstorm. Fantastic gauge attack. It's a reversal with 3-dot and 2-dot. We make it absolutely massive. If we have any other characters, we make it harder for them to play. We hack their check with Akuma 3-dot as well as Netherstorm. Netherstorm makes them bounce face downs. Akuma flips their cards. It's just kind of a match made in heaven. Just really good synergistic abilities all around. Up next, we're playing triple Lightning Torture. This card's a throw, and so it can auto-gauge off of its own ability, and not to mention anything that Akuma 3-dot can toss onto it. It is very easy to block, so you do need to make sure that you can guarantee your gauge by being able to pump that extra damage. We're playing the 1-of Lightning Shot. James loves this card. I don't think it's necessarily needed for this deck in particular, but this is just a card that he really enjoys. And it does have some usefulness of it gets additional flipping to happen, which Akuma 3-dot already does. Akuma 3-dot does selective flipping, but if we have Lightning Shot, it means we get to kind of turn off their sense of morals, their wandering pirates, the things that get to ready up their cards. Up next, we're playing a double Prism Storm of Torment. This card has got 2 uses in the deck. Number 1, it's 7 damage off of an Akuma discard. And number 2, it just lets you add in your characters for free. Just adding in your characters is super good, just for a free enhance. Not to mention, as a 7-hand size character, we just get to draw 7 cards and then play this for free. Maybe pop it if we have 2 of them in hand. I'll play 1 of them for free and then give it an extra 7 damage. I mean, a 14 damage attack that you played for free is pretty crazy. Because we said Akuma 2-dot is the main kill card in the deck, we are playing a lot of his support. We're playing 3 Susan. Susan is one of the best reversals in the game, and with Akuma 2-dot's synergy of being able to flip cards in the card pool and add them and so on and so forth, it's an easy bomb just to drop on people. In addition to that, we're also playing triple Dahatsu Shoten, excuse me. Just by itself, just a 5 mid for 7 on a 5 diff. That if you are stacked with Akuma, just only scales bigger and bigger and bigger. Onto the kind of generic cards, we've got double Coffee Samba. This lets us play our 7-drop play even easier, and it's just an all-around good card. No matter what stage in the game you're in, this card is effective at doing what it wants to do. Drawing extra cards, stunning out your opponent, possibly playing a multiple, making sure your gauge attacks hit later on in the turn. We're playing one Wrath of the Raging Demon. This is a bit of a meme card in the deck, but that's totally okay. James likes this card, and because we're playing Akuma 1 dot, like, why would you not play Wrath, you know? Also, it is just another 7 damage to discard off of Akuma. And the last attack that we're playing is double Flamora. Honestly, it's in here just because it's a really gnarly block, and the burn damage is not that bad either. If we want to play it as an attack, we certainly can, but, like, it's not super necessary. On our actions, we're playing double Fade. Once we have Akuma 2 dot out, this card becomes unbelievable. So they'll play their card, I'll fade it up to their hand, and this card sticks in the card pool, and then I can respond with Akuma 2 dot in order to flip it and give -2 to their check, and then have a face down on my card pool for all my cool face down effects. Just a really, really strong option to hate all my opponent's attacks in the same way that we're playing triple Tagoro Brothers to hate on their foundations. 9 times out of 10, if we have the Akuma 2 dot stacked, of course, they'll play an ability on their action or asset. I will blow it up, choose to draw the card by leaving it in the card pool, and then with Akuma 2 dot, we'll flip whenever they attempt to play their next thing. Not only does this keep the Tagoro Brothers inside of my deck by putting it in my discard pile as opposed to removing it from the game, and so I can maybe, if I cycle, use it again, but from here, it's just, it's now a 2-for-1 deal as opposed to choosing the or. It's almost 9 times out of 10 choose one and then get a bonus in a different way. And then the last action we're playing is we're playing double Revoke. This card just is a solid negate in the same way that Tagore Brothers is the no fun police. Revoke is right alongside it. We probably have a sheriff and deputy when it comes to the fun police. Just making sure that my opponent's foundations, our whole staging area, just doesn't do anything. On our foundations, the aggressive foundations we're playing double Enlightened by Defeat. If we get that Akuma 2 dot stacked, this card just becomes a one-shot. I've got 4 foundations, 4 cards face out of my card pool, a +4/+4. Borderline unfair card. Crazy strong, and it only gets stronger the more that we can hack our opponent's checks. We're playing 1 admission fees. This card is just extra free speed or a little bit of defensive speed when it comes to making sure that we can block particular things. And if we're using the Akuma kit, our face downs don't count as progressive, so good on them. We're playing double Shun Goku Satsu. Lose Vitality, your attack gets 1 damage. Super easy. If you destroy a foundation, which we can do with Akuma 1 dot's ability, your next attack gets +2/+2. That is fantastic, especially if we can pump out these gauge attacks in such a way. We're playing 1 Blood for Blood as our last really aggressive foundation. I'll lose 2 Vitality. If you block this thing, you'll lose 2. Really good on a Coffee Samba play. I've multiple this Coffee Samba out, and I'll start paying 2, and even if you block it, you're going to be essentially taking half damage off of everything. Onto our flow cards. We're playing triple the Azure Nightmare. This card's really synergistic in the deck because Akuma's asking us to discard cards. So what this card can be is it can be discard for +1 damage, burn 1 off of the Azure Nightmare, and -1 to their check. If they fail it, we're going to start flipping with the response. Just a really cool synergy card, not to mention because we are playing a couple 1s in our deck, if it is committed, we can discard a card and ready it back up. We're playing triple new Empress of Netherrealms. Pay 3, flip, draw a card is good. It will always be good. I don't see this card not coming out of people's decks anytime soon. Just a generic pay life whenever I have desperation cards. Draw 1 is good. Like, there's no place that it's not. In the same way that triple arranging a deal. Once I'm in desperation, flip, free draw card. Both dimensions, the 1/6 with a 2 mid block. Really good. Really solid. Speaking of 6s, we're playing 3 Bear of the Makai Whistle. This just gets bad character cards out of our deck. We toss them into the discard pile, make our gauge a little bit lower, and then we have with 0 chance of drawing that particular character card. So the more that I have, I can dump them in my discard pile, and then using Prism Storm, I can just attach to my character nice and quick. We're playing 1 Leader of the Second Saintly Beast, Form Destroy, find a gauge attack. Maybe my 7 hand size is not quite enough. I need to dig a little deeper. 1 All-Powerful Sorcerer. This card has 2 jobs. 1, it can be a negate, commit, flip, discard a character card after an enhanced ability is played, get rid of it. But it also is a bit of a cycle card. I've got a character card in my hand, and that's not doing me anything right now. Well, I can discard a card with a printed control of 6, which we're playing a ton of, and then draw an additional card. Not necessary, but is a fine tool inside of a stacking character like this. We're playing Triple Hell's Reach as a bit of a safety net. It's a 0/5/3 mid block, and it just says once inside the game, we'll flip and ready this card. Really good to build out turn 1, turn 2, especially because we're playing all those 1 checks. Is like I said, it's just a bit of a safety net in case we fumble with our checks. More defense. We're talking double face of a monster. This card is kind of a staple inside of any symbol. You should play at least 2 of this card if you can afford it. Just after an attack is played, you can give it minus speed by losing vitality, or not losing vitality. And then if they get the deadlock, you make sure they discard cards. And then once you're at desperation, you say that your Flamora's auto block whatever you want it to. Oh, I'm going to turn this into a high. All right, here's my block. Double immortality. If you block with a character card, you take no damage. It's just putting those character cards to extra use. I think this could easily be a 1 of, depending on how much you don't like the 4 check or not. It's really up to player preference at that point. We're playing Double Evil Eye. Remove a character from your card pool, draw a card, or flip return a attack to its printed speed. The flip return to the printed speed is insane, and if we can get any extra synergy, any extra mileage out of this card by drawing the extra card, I mean, it is certainly worth it. We're playing Triple Cage Fighter as one of our only disruption tools because we want them to fail cards. We have no problem. If I flip a card to selectively flip one of your cards, it is super, super worth it. Not to mention I don't have to deal with a card that you just played. It's just like it's a bit of a win more mechanic, but it feels really good to make it happen. And then our last card, arguably one of the best cards that have been printed this entire year, Overrun by Tourists. This card is such a powerful discard engine. It just says after you play a non-attack card, I get to just discard a card out of your hand. You show me the card you show me cards out of your hand equal to the number of face downs that you have, with Akuma flipping up to, as soon as you get 6 cards, you get to look at their whole hand and just pick what you want. And then you pick the card that gets discarded. So they're going to be picking things that like want to be discarded or things that they're okay discarding, but the more that you play the game, the more potent this card is. This card is a threat in any deck that is doing any sort of flipping. And so there you have it. There's James's Akuma list that he played for this week's Campus Championship. If you like the list, make sure you let James know down in the comments down below. He would love to see any feedback. Like I said at the top, make sure that you check out all the matches and profiles that we played. And if you want to join us live as we record the matches, twitch.tv/TCG University. James is going to be innovating on this deck quite a bit. He really enjoyed playing it, and he's been looking forward to this deck for quite a while. So if you want to keep up with him and make sure you follow him on his entire journey, please support us out at Patreon, patreon.com/TCG University. Get access to talk to anybody from the faculty as well as all the other student body that we have. So from all of us here at TCGU, thank you very much for watching and stay learned.